Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So, last time we did more studying with Tang, we leveled up our friendship pretty good. And we also hid in the creche, which is what we're going to be doing from now on. We are not taking part in any fighting, we are only here to study and hang out with Tang. And speaking of Tang, she does want to talk to us. Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes rain on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. It stings, she says, because it's made of acid. Acid snow? Tang nods. Professor Hal says it isn't harmful, and is an important part of the natural cycle here. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope. She sticks her tongue out and lets some flakes fall on it. It tastes kinda sour, but sweet, she observes. Fascinating. Tang pulls the sample jar out of her coat. We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete, she says, and places the jar on an outcropping of rocks. The big mushrooms changed in shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder if there's some sort of signal that precedes the changing of the seasons. What happens if I expose samples collected in dust to snow from quiet season? A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait. What do we have to do to study with you next? How's the research coming? 80! What are we at now? We are at 46. Not bad, honestly. I think we're going to start off with a little switcheroo, and we're going to do life sciences today. Just to see, because it'll raise our reasoning either way. This week in biology class, you're learning about predators and prey. Oh no. I remember this one. I don't know. Yep, I knew it. It gets rid of some friendship with Tangent. Dang it! Your mom gives you a stern look. And I've heard stories of kids sneaking outside the walls, she says grimly. If I catch you doing that, I'm going to put a chip in your ear. You laugh. What a good joke. Your mom doesn't laugh. What, me? Never. Yeah, you better never, your mom retorts, crossing her arms. Not in this playthrough, mama. You know what else is not going to happen in this playthrough? You surviving. We're getting good at that. I think I'm gonna keep doing biology though, because there is stuff for biology that I'd like to do eventually. Kind of like alternate for a bit. So yeah, we'll do life sciences and then we're gonna have to relax. This week in biology class, you're studying sugar bugs. This native species looks like purple marshmallows about the size of your fist, all puffy and squishy and kind of cute. They don't move or do much, but if you tickle them, they exude an edible syrup from the hole at the top of their bodies. And now, says Professor Hal, you're going to dissect one. This time, I will. You're given a, thankfully, already deceased sugar bug to work on. The moment your scalpel slices it open, a horrid smell assaults you, sweet like rotting fruit. Yuck! You see Tang trying not to gag too. Dissection! Ooh, that's locked. Alright, 4. Let's get a combo in here. 4, 2, 2. 2, 2, 3. And then 5, 4, 2, 1. There we go. Yeah, because last time I refused. You carefully section your sugar bug into 6 discrete organs. You take a photo with your hollow palm and carefully fill in labels for all the parts. That's pretty good, Tang says, peeking at your work. Those things are slipperier than I was expecting. Parts of mine are still moving. Great job, class. Now we're going to leave them overnight, says Professor Hal. The next morning, your class is in for a surprise. The sugar bugs are alive again, and there are more of them. Your teacher explains that their DNA is so malleable that almost any part of a sugar bug can turn into another part if it needs to. The resulting sugar bugs are smaller, but will eventually grow into full-sized ones. Vertumen in biology is weird. It sure is. And my cat is messing with something. Oh, I don't even get to... Oh, nice. Alright, we need to rest. Unless Tang wants to talk. Tang does not want to talk. Fine. Whatever. Alright, yeah, let's do some relaxing. Relax. You look around the lounge. Some of your friends are here. Who do you hang out with? Tangent, of course. Tangent is quietly reading her holopalm. You plop down beside her and ask what she's reading. Multicellular biology, she says, frowning at the interruption. If you insist on sitting near me, you could at least do it quietly. No problem. You open up your holopalm and find a textbook of old Earth poetry to read. It's never a bad idea to do a little bit of independent study. Though she's a little prickly, you can tell Tang appreciates the company. Aw, it's just like Dees. Prickly on the outside, sweet on the inside. Why are you crying? So many tears. We did biology, back to engineering. Yeah! So much math. It's the same as last time. It's like, stop doing engineering so much. What are you doing? 4, 4, 2, 2. I know there's an achievement for getting 100 in, like, each thing, but I'm too lazy to get through all of that. Ooh, you're finishing breakfast in the commons area when Marzipan struts in. Look at you, eating cereal, she says, turning her nose up. I'll bet you don't even know what day today is. I do, it's Valentine's Day. No, you dummy, Mars starts, and then pauses and gives you a suspicious look. Wait, what did you say? Well, anyway. Yeah, sorry, I'm from the future, or is it the past? Kind of both. Today, she announces to the room, is St. Valentine's Day. Dees and Tammy wander over to hear more. Back on Earth, Mars explains, it was a day when everybody had to give their best friend a gift, especially sweets. And then you put the sweets under your pillow and make dreams about who you're going to marry. And there are decorations of hearts and arrows, and pigs. Tammy cocks her head. Why pigs? Before Mars can answer, Dees snorts. This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy. He rolls his eyes and walks away. As he leaves, Mars shouts at his back. Well, nobody was going to pick you anyway. You stink. I know who my best friend will be, because it's the point of the whole thing. Mars bats her eyes jokingly. Oh, really? Who could it be? She asks playfully. I'm gonna tell the other kids about it, Mars says. So you go around and find your best friend and give them a gift. She points her finger at you. Make sure you do it by the end of the day or it doesn't count. And if too many people want to be my best friend, she adds, I'll hold tryouts for the position. It's only fair. She tosses her hair over her shoulder and laughs. Well, we know how this ends. And sorry, Dees, not this time, not this year. And sorry, Tammy, not this year for you either. We are going for Tang. Of course. Logically, we should be friends. You lay out the reasoning. Strength in numbers, deal-making is the foundation for human society, and so on. Tang pauses her game, and her eyes focus on you. Best friends? That sounds so childish, but I suppose us smart kids should stick together, and it will make Mars stop asking me if I've chosen a best friend yet. She goes back to her game. I accept your proposal. That was a very calm proposal. Acceptance. Sorry, Mars. Mars is in a huff. Ah, because you didn't pick her for Valentine's Day? Seems like nobody picked her. She crosses her arm and scowls at you. You chose Tang over me? She doesn't even like people. What were you going to do? Be study buddies? Boring. Whatever, Mars mutters, tossing her hair. I'm just too mature for kids my age. The older kids get me, even if you don't. Oh, I wonder how she reacts depending on who you pick. Why is an enemy so popular all of a sudden? She doesn't even try. All she thinks about is sports ball. I can't believe you. You chose Dees over me? You and Cal and Tammy broke the system. You're only supposed to have one BFF. Don't you know that? Whatever, Mars mutters, tossing her hair. Okay, yeah, it's the same for Cal and Tammy because they're always best friends. I suppose unless Tammy's dead, then it's probably different, but I'm not going to go back and check that right now. You could check it yourself if you want. As for picking Mars, well, we'll just have to save that for when I do her route, won't we? Anyway, back to the correct timeline. Alright, back to life sciences. You ask a question in class and are embarrassed when everyone laughs. You guess it was something you were supposed to know? You thought Professor Howell said there were no dumb questions. Well, we learned already. Tang smirked at us that last time. Oh, wait. There we go. Perfection. It's time once more for Virtunalia. The mood of the colony has been muted this year, ever since the attack during Glow. Though everything is still cheerfully decorated and the feast table is heavy with food, mostly soy rations, this Virtunalia just feels different, in a way you can't describe. The colonists gather in the square for Governor Eudicott's speech. What a year Vertumna has given us, the governor begins in her weedy voice. I stand before you, so proud of everything the colony has accomplished in such a short time. I have always hoped that we would bring with us the best facets of humanity, cooperation, resilience, and creativity, and the events of this year have given me no reason to doubt my convictions. These creatures were unexpected, but I urge everyone to consider what it means for life here. If Vertumna can sustain megafauna, then that means conditions are good for us as well. Our friends in geophonics are already working on the logistics of domesticating the wildlife. Your dad, as second cultivator, stands and gives a sheepish wave to the crowd. There's a smattering of applause. Mars elbows you. Hey, she whispers, did you hear? My dad say Eudicott's gonna announce the depot's open to the public. You shoot her a questioning look and she rolls her eyes. You know, shopping? Somewhere to spend all the kudos we've been saving up? There's gonna be candy and toys and makeup and nice-smelling soap, not the boring kind in the communal showers. You know the concept of shopping. They do it in the holovids from Earth, especially the ones Mars likes, but you've never actually done it. The colony provides everything you need, but it would be nice to buy yourself a treat. My dad's give me an allowance, Mars says, shooting you a look of pity. It's too bad your parents make you work for yours. You and Mars tune back into the speeches just as Eudicott, as predicted, announces the opening of the general store at the depot. Mars gives you a knowing look as she claps. Eudicott gestures for the council members to stand. Finally, the council remains unchanged from last year. We are, as always, proud to serve you and the colony as your government. The music starts up as Governor Eudicott finishes. Thank you all for your hard work and perseverance this year, she says over the ruckus. Together, we build the future. The crowd disperses and sets up for the annual Vertumnalia Games. Just like last year, there's a talent show, a science fair, and bot wrestling. Now with an obstacle course. Which one do you participate in this year? Science fair, of course. Your competitor for the science fair is, predictably, Tangent. Her project is on the tensile strength of various building materials, concluding that mushwood is the best choice when you consider not just strength, but also sustainability and ease of use. Tammy flakes out this year on her actual project, but her booth is decorated nicely. She spent so long on the decoration she didn't have time to do an experiment. Aw, Tammy. The judges want to know what you've been working on. Present my project! Fingers crossed. 1, or I'm going to save that. 4, 4, 2, or what if I do this? Which is better? This is definitely better. 6, 4, 4, 2. Oh yeah, we got this in the bag. 4, 3, 1, 1. Oh yeah! 1 reasoning. In secret, you've been working on a social experiment about delayed gratification. You've been sneakily studying the adults, taking notes on their snacking habits and their mood. You found that Seek and Dr. Instance rarely eat sweets, but Utopia and Antecedent do all the time. You correlate this with their attention span when you see them tackle frustrating problems. You know, problems you can control and repeat, like if a child backtalks to them. The judges are impressed with your mythology. Instance, perhaps, a little begrudgingly. They award you first place. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. Mars organizes a water fight that takes over the whole colony, even the adults. It brightens everyone's spirit, even in the thick heat of dust. You end up on the top of the western wall with Dees, lodging water-filmed poof shrooms down on an unsuspecting anemone in the sports ball court below. The walls seem like a neat place to hang out and relax. Much quieter than the lounge if you're looking for some solitude. Ooh, so we could raise our friendship with Dees if we wanted to. Oh, maybe we should do that. Even if we're not going to sneak outside that much, it would be helpful to be able to go grab stuff to give to people. Today in class, you're studying genetic enhancements. Nearly everyone in the class has one, chosen for them by their parents before they were born. And it's all thanks to gene tech, Hal exclaims. Isn't it amazing? The people of Earth almost never had access to this stuff, and we all have the equipment right here in our little colony. Looking around the class, you see an incredible array of genetic modifications, animal features, enhanced sensory organs, and the like, and there's much more that you can't see. Come on, don't be shy, Hal says, spreading his arms wide. What sort of things has old Instance been able to do in her lab? Feel free to share if you have one that people can't see. Most kids share their genetic enhancements if they have them. Temperature but doesn't bother me, Cal answers when it's his turn. I'm never too hot or cold, I'm always just right. Someone jokes that Cal doesn't sweat. That explains why he smells like flowers and sunshine all the time. Tang keeps quiet and skips her turn to share. It's okay to have secrets, Tang. You see her sitting close enough to Tang that it's easy to lean over and tell she doesn't have to be ashamed. She rolls her eyes. I don't care who knows. She scoffs. I just don't want to make anyone jealous. I sleep half as much as a regular person. It's unbelievable how much of their lives people waste being unconscious. Sad, really. What do you do with those extra hours? Our first flirt! Tang shrugs. Study, mostly, and snack. I eat approximately 50% more than someone who sleeps all night. Huh. You're not sure if she noticed you were flirting or not. Oh well, we'll keep trying. 6, 6, 4, 2, 2. It's backwards, but it's okay. Nice. Oh, I got a new perk. Ooh, unlock xenobotany research in geophonics. Ooh, baby. That's what I could have used to save my dad last time, huh? The colony's robots are definitely feeling the strain of life on Vertumna. Though far less advanced than congruence, they're still too complicated to simply nanoprint new ones. Every time one goes permanently out of commission, life on the colony gets a little bit harder. You study their inert bodies in class, trying to figure out how to prolong lives of the ones you have left. Or possibly make new ones. Ooh, maybe we'll unlock robotics soon. 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. Perfection. Those cards used to be really annoying, but the 2 is not that bad. Heck yeah. What's next? Professor Howe looks almost apologetic. It's important to check on how you're doing with the material, he explains. So we're having a pop quiz on what we've been covering this month. Earth's ecosystem, the climate crash of the late 20th century. This should be easy so long as you've been paying attention. You and the other students exchange looks of horror. A pop quiz? 2 people look unfazed. Tang and Cal. Both are sitting near enough that you could probably ask them for help before the quiz begins. Ask Tang for help? Tang rolls her eyes, but obligingly rattles off a few facts about the late 20th century while other students prepare for the quiz. You're not sure if it'll help, but maybe something will stick. Ooh, nice. Hopefully this will get us more friendship with her and we didn't just use her for help. I probably could have gotten past that, but who cares? Oh, we're fine. We're definitely fine. 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. We went a little overboard. Boop. You did well. You tried to imagine the most destructive things humankind do to the planet, and that was usually the answer, no matter how far-fetched. Deserts growing, terrible storms, sea level rising, species becoming extinct. Whoa, scary. Cal and Tang look happy with their scores, too. You file out of the class. You catch up with Tang and share your thoughts about what you've been learning in class. Earth humans had space travel, gene tech. Shouldn't they have been able to fix the planet? Isn't science the solution to everything? Tang scoffs. Not even science can help people who don't believe in it, she says. Even if the solution is too obvious to anyone with half a brain, if the people in charge don't do what needs to be done, what's the point? She stomps away, clearly frustrated by the subject. Oof. Ain't that the truth? Back to engineering. Just going and going and going. Help the younger students with their architecture work, and by that you mean you help them scavenge a bag of random spare parts and adhesives from around the colony and challenge them to make the tallest structure possible. When it's predictably a disaster, you tell them to make the most structurally sound one instead. Yeah, you gotta specify sometimes. 6, 4, 4, 2, 2. Oh yes! Look at that reasoning. There's a commotion in the square. An expedition vehicle has driven through the gates and is idling in the middle of the square. An unusual sight. Oh, I think Tonin is dead. People come down from the command to investigate. Utopia gets out of the vehicle and trudges over to Uticott. After a brief conversation, you see Uticott gesture for people to unload the vehicle and clear the area. You stay out of the way to see what they're unloading. It's a body. Chief Cervera Tonin's body. Someone quickly covers him with the sheet, but not before the image of his torn open body is seared into your memory. However he died, it was violent and bloody. You feel your stomach cramp with nausea. What happened? Deese asks, coming over to crouch around the corner with you. You share that Uncle Tonin is dead, and he stares at the sheet-covered body intensely, as if he could see through it. Did they say how? They never tell us the truth anyway. Nobody will tell the kids what really happened. Did something eat him? Did he get lost or fall off a cliff? Do they even know? Deese nods, frowning. They don't want us to know about the monsters and other worse stuff. They want us to think everything is fine, but it's not. This planet isn't as nice as they say it is. He shakes his head. They hate that they can't control us. You and Deese watch the adults carry Uncle Tonin's body away. From the way he's practically vibrating, you can tell Deese wants to ask more questions about what happened. After a few awkward minutes, he sneaks away without saying anything, probably to try and take a look at the body. Someone's going to have to tell Tammy. You're glad it's not you. Tammy and her dad were really close. Now she's an orphan. You watch Utopia bend over to get a hug from Uticott, wiping her eyes as she finally cries. Uticott has never been the most comforting person in your life, but it seems to help. Utopia will probably be the next chief surveyor. At 24, she'll be the youngest council member. She was only a toddler when the stratosphere left Earth. Apparently her sharp eye and hoverbike flying skills are the best in the expeditions. Absolutely rip. But we're gonna not talk to Tammy. We're studying. We're so close to the perk. Let's get the perk. Professor Howell is a first-class nerd. We've seen that one before. And this is probably the last time we're going to see Professor Howell, considering 6, 2... I don't like that, but oh well. Can't really do much. Boop! Win! Done. It's been quiet glow, but the grim, surreal darkness of the season reminds you of last year's violence. As the month wears on, you overhear arguments at dinner, adults worrying that an attack is still coming, and others who think the first one was a fluke. Surveyors mention seeing new tracks in the forest, but are shushed so people don't panic. The gates are closed. You drill emergency procedures, filing soundlessly from the classroom to the creche to hide under tables, waiting for the sirens to call the all clear. You drill and prepare and worry, but nothing happens. Then, just as glow is starting to wane, the toxic purple spill of the wormhole fading as the sun almost rises past the horizon again. The sirens start. You're reading a holo novel in bed when you hear them, followed by the stomp of boots down the hallway outside your quarters. An alert flashes on your holopalm. Shelter in the creche! This is not a drill! You get another message from your dad. Me and Mom are going to stay in the greenhouses. We're safe. Just follow Auntie Anne to the creche and wait for us, okay? Don't worry. We're way more prepared than we were last year. Love you. Stay safe. You could go to the creche where you belong, or you could follow the security guards and see what's happening at the gates. Just as you peek your head out the door, you're struck by a horrible premonition. Someone's in danger in engineering. You blink and shake your head, but the feeling persists. Sorry, Hal. Maybe next time. You head for the children's creche. Even with just the emergency lights on, your feet could never forget the way. When you get there, you spot Tangent and Deese huddled together on the beanbag chair. Deese is stone-faced as usual, and he's holding Tangent in his arms. He can't remember the last time you saw them this close. Tang must be really scared. Tammy is here too, hiding under the table and crying. She's assembled a small army of stuffed animals for protection. You take a seat on a beanbag chair and wait. Other children filter into the room after you. Anemone, her little brothers, Nougat, you don't see him. So Cal must be sheltering with your parents in the greenhouses. You hope they're okay. Talk to Deese and Tang. It's dumb that they won't let us outside, Deese grumbles. We live here too. We deserve to know what's going on. They're treating us like little kids. I'm not even scared. You search his face for signs he's lying to sound cool, but his bad mood is sincere. Tangent smacks him on his arm. Don't be ridiculous, she snaps. There's dangerous animals out there. Deese just shrugs. Nothing scares him. You don't hear much from outside. After a while, the sirens sound all clear, and you file back into your quarters. Your mom and dad join you right away and give you a big hug and thank you for following their instructions. When things have calmed down, you overhear your parents talking. Not going to be the first to congratulate Red, but all of his defensive improvements were exactly what were needed, your mom grumbles. Ugh, he's going to be so insufferable at the next council meeting. Your dad pats her hand. Credit where credit's due, Flulabelle, he says, and she smiles despite herself. It could have been worse. Your mom nods, and they both sit in silence before your dad speaks again. Poor Hal, he sighs. What a way to go. Good night. You don't need to hear anymore. Listening to them only makes you guilty that you knew. You knew he was going to die, and you didn't do anything about it. I'm sorry, Hal. I need to do it for congruence. Age 12. We made it to the end of another year, and we got a new perk. Shopping for gadgets. Ooh, that's gonna be good. And that is where we're gonna end this episode. So until next time, I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourselves, send your apologies to Professor Howell, and have a good day.